So the topic that I'm continuing, the one I was talking about earlier in regards to child abuse. So I'm going to continue with the rights and responsibilities of the child, right? So it's what is a right, and a right is a benefit that a person is entitled to either because the law states this or because it is just thing to do based on accepted ideas of right and wrong. Everyone has rights. People tend to know more about those which are written in the Constitution. For example, the right to life, liberty, and property. Some know about their rights as consumers or as teachers, parents, and students. Many adults and children do not know that children have rights. Very often, children are brought up based on the principles that adults are often right. Children should be seen and not heard. So it says, are you being brought up like this? So what is a responsibility? A responsibility is a duty that a person has to perform for his or her own benefit and or the benefit of others. For example, attending school regularly and punctually is a responsibility of all students. How do they benefit from this? Who else benefits? Keeping one's surrounding clean is another example of a responsibility. Who benefits from this? The History of the Rights of the Child Convention. Do you know what a convention is? And it says a convention is an agreement about a specific matter which is decided upon by members of an organization. The rights of the child convention is therefore a specific agreement decided on by the members of the United Nations organization. It sets out all the benefits to which children all over the world are entitled because they are children. The diagram below shows four important stages of development of the convention and its adoption in Jamaica. And it says, what does the convention say? So the conventions, there are 10 rights set out in the convention. So there are 10 rights. Can anybody tell me one right of the child? So there is 10 rights. The child has 10 rights according to the convention. Can anybody list one or even all 10? Do y'all know the rights of the child? I don't know how many know stuff up. I don't even know if me I use that something I write. Cause for years maybe I rub it under my nose. Hope at the right place me I rub it. Or upon my nose before I rub it. I don't even know. But yeah, can anybody tell me a right of the child? Robert, Allen, Rando, Dilly, Annie Boo, Raja, thank you for joining. Can anybody tell me a right of the child? Can anybody tell me, hi Sika, can anybody tell me a right of the child? There are 10 rights of the child. Can anybody tell me? Right to safety and an education. Thank you, Dilly. At least somebody was answering. Thank you. I appreciate that. Right, exactly. So right to safety and an education. So that's 2 in 1. So you gave me 2 out of the 10. Any more? Can you tell me any more? What other rights do the child have? Well, this is talking about, as I said, the rights based on the convention. Exactly. So healthcare, safety, and education. What else? Anything else that you can think of? I'm looking at this. I have two different things looking at. This is a pamphlet from CDA, which is Child Development Agency. Yannick, thank you for joining. So this is another one. This is a pamphlet. Act Right, Treat Me Right. A guide based on the Child Care and Protection Act 2004 for children 13 to 18 years. So the rights that they have in this is a little different from the right that the convention gave. So I'm trying to match both of them together. And this Miles, thank you for joining. Chopper Life. Alright, so according to the convention is saying that every child has a right to equality, regardless of race, color, religion, sex, or nationality. They have a right to equality. They have a right to a name and a nationality. Because you know, say Pitney born, enough of them born and them not have no name. It is a right for them to have a name. Also, they have a right to a healthy mental and physical development, sufficient food, housing, and medical care, special care if handicapped, love, understanding, and care, free education, play, and recreation, immediate aid in the event of disaster and emergencies, protection from cruelty, neglect, and exploitation, protection from persecution, and to an upbringing in the spirit of worldwide brotherhood and peace. Rated. We got brotherhood and peace to work diligently and creatively, to think generously and honestly, so that Jamaica may under God increase in beauty. Whatever. Anyways. Alright, so this is a part of it. It says, and to an upbringing in the spirit of worldwide brotherhood and peace. Alright then. So that's what it said. There's enough things them talk about in this. So this look like another article. Alright, let me look at this. So read through the newspaper article standing firm on the rights of the child and then answer the questions below. At the pledge, yeah. Alright, so it say the Jamaica Constitution. I need to get glasses. Hold on, they come in. Know how me say constitution. Yeah, so the Jamaica Coalition on the Rights of the Child is standing firm opposed to corporal punishment despite differing opinions on whether this form of punishment should be permitted in Jamaican schools. The coalition gave its view in a release against the background of the government's recent push towards implementing definitive legislation and on in corporal punishment time for the academic year 1996 to 1997. This is the government's first attempt to formally address the issue. The coalition said that the school should help the child to unlearn some of the negative and deviant behaviors he or she has learned at home and in the community. Flagging, the coalition explained, is yet another way of perpetuating the cycle of violence in the society. In fact, the upsurge in violent crimes committed by children could be rebellion against the violence they have already experienced. And the question remains whether or not flogging is often administered by someone who is giving vent to his or her own anger and frustration. The coalition postulated at last August Jamaica Teachers Association annual conference, delegates passed a resolution calling on government to state its policy on corporal punishment, which legally allows teachers to discipline primary school students by way of caning and slapping. What is caning? Good night, Justice. What is caning? I don't even know what caning is. Caning sound like them take one can and conk them in and them head with it. But anyways, caning, caning and slapping are a conking this. I say caning, we don't know what caning mean. However, the island's educators are embroiled in a heated debate over whether or not students should be flogged in schools. Some favor strong disciplinary measures, contending that they were slapped as students. Yes, them forget flagging. Mostly giving them cans. Daniel, hi Daniel. Great interview, by the way. But see, I feel yourself with your abs and thing, but going through. But great interview though. Great. Hopefully one of these days we can work together. But yeah, I need to go Google to see what canning is. I don't know what canning is, but I am for which one? The one with Shelly. The one with Shelly. But yeah, I am for flogging in schools because them pitnia, them audience pitnia, them deserve the flogging. However, I've been told that There are more than one ways to discipline a child, and you don't have to flog them to discipline them. You can take away their devices, you can put them in a timeout, all of them something. But me not think that we're from Jamaican pitney. Me see overseas them have them put them in a timeout and them go on and show them tantrums and them whatever. But American pitney spoil. But in a Jamaica, them need some slap and stuff. But you have to know to what extent. When I was going to primary school, one of my friends got beaten, just talking about it now giving me the creeps. One of my classmates got beaten so bad that their vein was coming out of their hand. Like literally you could have seen the vein them because their mother beat them with the belt buckle and it bore them hand so bad that the veins were coming out and them never dress it up or nothing. Him come to school same way with the bleeding and everything and in uniform and nasty up and something and come to school. We have to reculture these youngsters. Of course, I'm 100% agreeing to that. And that's the same thing because even today I was talking about the morals and whose responsibility it is to uphold morals and values in society. Is it our teachers' responsibility? Is it the parents' responsibility? Is it the police? Is it the church? Whose responsibility it is? Because right now them not really have no morals and values. I mean, it's nobody uphold morals and values. Right now, them loose. I think it's referred to beating with cane. So a caning, it's I don't know, caning and slapping. Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Community responsibility. Right. So as I say, talking about the rights of the child and in terms of, but that's another conversation in terms of corporal punishment, right? Um, for or against, right? We can debate it, but I think we should still have corporal punishment, especially in schools because these kids them very hard at hearing. You understand? When me I go to school, people are carry metal things come to school and something. So you don't really want to beat them one day, no, but yeah. Alright, so we can never go to this book. So this is what CDA is giving out. CDA is giving out this pamphlet, Child Development Agency, Act Right, Treat Me Right, a guide based on the Child Care and Protection Act 2004 for children 13 to 18. Pitney forgetly agree with your Paul Francis. Village built a child and so. Alright, so according to the CDA, so their thing is saying that the Child Care and Protection Act. Can adults do anything they please to children? Should someone hurt a child and get away with it? Are children just as important as adults in this country? These are questions that children sometimes ask based on the things they see happening around them. The truth is every child has rights. Jamaica has a law in place that helps to protect your rights and to make sure that they are respected. It is called the Child Care and Protection Act. This book tells children about the Child Care and Protection Act 2004 and provides information on the following: what the Child Care and Protection Act says about children's rights, the principles of the Child Care and Protection Act, how the Child Care and Protection Act protects children, how the Child Care and Protection Act protects children who live in residential child care facilities. This is very important, and the reason why I'm gonna say this is because if it wasn't for this act, me probably wouldn't be here today, right? Because a lot of my rights were revoked based on where like I said, me never even know if me even know if we word it properly. But if this act wasn't in place, me might not be here so today because as I'm telling you, a lot of my rights were revoked. Me never have a voice. Me couldn't talk or share my feelings or say how I feel. If I talk and say how I feel, me get beaten feet. Right? So if I never feel that act here, you understand? Maybe one of the year. Right? So It seems simple, it sounds simple, but it is just as important as any other laws in Jamaica, right? Because we do have kids, because even now, even the one them are 15-year-old we feel like say them a big woman and them gone a man yard, and you see them come up on the social media say they missing a yard, say yeah man they missing them gone a man yard. Most of the time them run away because they're not being their rights are being violated, right? Some of them rights have been violated. Me might run away one time already when me feel like my right was violated, right? So, and me and a bad pitney, and me a run away. So, me can understand not being heard. Exactly, not being heard. So, I can understand when a child, 15-year-old, female or male, feel like, say, she'll talk to her parents and her parents them now listen to her and she'll say, Mommy, like if let's talk about a boy. Let's talk about a boy saying that alright, you tell him alright then I forgot boarding school. Yeah, I forgot boarding school because you go join the army, and after you join the army, you go in at this and you go in at that, and the boy say, no mommy, me no want to join the army. He say yes, you go join the police force because your father police, your brother police. You have to turn police too. And all the boy I tell you say, no mommy, me no want to turn the police. I don't know why me nose are run. I say, no, mommy, I don't want to turn the police. I like the police them. Ray, and Tay. Or no, mommy, I don't want to go bust no gun. And your mother say, yes. Father say, yes, yeah. I say, you're not staying in my house and it's a turn police. Ray. You understand me? I say the pressure. Yeah, because a lot of them do that. Them do that from long time. Tell them, say, you have to turn police or you have to go turn soldier, whatever. You understand me? So, when we not talk to them and make them tell you how them feel and give them a voice to be heard. You understand? Make them talk and express themselves. Then you gotta have these things, right? Which is, as I said, that is why most of them run away, right? And you gotta see them go man yard, but maybe the man will listen to them. So it's sad to say, but that go on. And the law is gonna protect them as well, because if they are 15-year-old and them run away, gone a man yard, the law still gonna protect them because they are still a child, right? And you are gonna get the backlash because you are gonna be bad parents. You understand? So you still have to know the law and you still have to know the rights. You understand me? So according to the law, it's saying under the law, a child is anyone under the age of 18. Right? Although this law gives a lot of responsibility to adults, it is really all about children. So it's under the age of 18. Even if they're a 17-year-old and couple months at 18, it's illegally. 18, right? Anything happen to them and them are 17 months, are still the parent are gonna be held responsible. So you can't have your pitney on road, your boy pitney on road at 17-year-old, you don't know where him there, what him a do, and him go get himself in a trouble, and then your first response are gonna be, after me no know where him a do a film business, that at the end of the day, are you them a go come look for, and are you them a come lock up, because he is still 17-year-old and couple months. So as me say, una have to know the law. You understand me? The other day, me I watch one newspaper. Me I watch newspaper. Me I watch one news report the other day about. I don't know if you did hear about it. It was another viral story up a Radials Road. The two pitney them were shoot up the gas station. Them rob the gas station and them shoot it up. You did hear about that up a Radials Road? I think the little boy was 12. One of the persons was, I think, was 12-year-old. And me not remember the other one. At the 12-year-old one, me remember because he was the one that they interviewed. So them interview mother, sorry. So what happened is them go there for rob the gas station. Jano, yeah man, 12. Them go there for rob the gas station late one night, and somebody realized say somebody was in the gas station, and them start open fire. The kids were inside of the gas station and somebody like them hear the noise and the shuffling and start look and realize say, yo, somebody in there, and the kids started opening fire and shoot off of the people them. So them call police upon them. Police come and shoot up the gas station basically and shoot up in there, and I guess the little boy they get shot, right? When they came in, they saw him have the long rifle in him hand, like the man literally have the gun in him hand, and I say him surrender. Him never really surrender, but that him say him surrender. Cause if you surrender, you not gonna have it in your hand and I say you surrender. You gotta put it one side, not so. But him have it in him hand, and that was one of the reasons why them say they kept shooting as well, because they must say him have it in him hand and him could have still use it. Anyways, the point of the matter is, the long story short is that the little boy tell the mother say he was going on the road with him friend them late in the night. She hear him tell her say him a go up on the road with him friend them and say as something him always do. That's what she say. One, him always do it. Remember said little boy at 12, and he always come out of house late at night with him friend them. She know say him have a weapon. She know because that's something him always do. And guess what happened? Every time him go there, him come back with money and give the mother. She no business where him a get it from. As long as him a come back with it, she take it. Something him always do. Him always go out there and him always come in back and bring in money and give the mother at his young age. Right? Now, this situation, he got caught. As me said, them shoot him never did. But he got caught and them lock him up. When them lock him up on TVJ, come on and interview her and ask her, she a go say, him a no bad pitney. I'm friend them call him out in bed because he was sleeping at the time, and him friend them call him and tell him say yo me could go up on a ends ray, and him never want go, but him still go. Imagine the mother sit down and hear the whole of that conversation, She no stop him, she no say don't go, she no try to make him stay in the house, she no call police, but yet still when him go, get him long rifle, go shoot up the people them gas station and police catch him now. Then she's gonna come on TVG and say that he's an innocent little boy because it's not him go there go do it, is him friend carry him go and him follow him friend, but him them catch with the gun. You understand me I say? To make matters worse, when he was locked up in I forget what the place name where them lock up. Them lock him up in the place, right? I gotta tell you. To make matters worse, he was locked up and somebody came to him and say, them have a way to get him out. Right? Them have a way to get him out, and like him have to jump over the fence and come a one corner and one bag of something. Long story short is them set him up. Them tell him say them have a way to get him out and thing. And when him go around at the corner and jump the fence to come out of the prison, them shoot him up and kill him on the spot. And then now she comes and she want justice. She want justice because them kill her child. First of all, you never did want the justice when the little boy come out in bed for go rob the people them gas station. But when them kill him, you want justice. As me tell you, as some of them mother ya, cause the pitney them for stay like this, because from them a little boy you hearing a song, you hear them singing a song and I say from them how much year old them a bring in the bread I give them mother. Them mother take it from them. You know say your pitney now work no way. Where your pitney and get money from a carry come give you and you take it. Your pitney at 12 years old. First of all, your pitney not supposed to work because according to the law, him not legally able to work. So where is he working and bringing money and you know what take it from him? As me say, she give up herself because she said on the interview that is something that him always do. Him always come out in bed late at night time with him friend them on Gar Road. And as me tell you, he had a weapon. Big long hell of a something the little boy have. You understand me I say? But after them shoot him up now, I think him did hurt one of the police them or something like that, which is why them did set him up and tell him say, oh, if you want to come out, we can show you a way to come out, ray. And when him a escape, them shoot him. But as me say, the parents them have a lot to do with why the kids are doing what they're doing, because the parents them know about what the pitney them do. Even regularly you hear them talk on TV when you hear the boy them dead and whoever get police them come shoot up the people them or whatever, you hear them come on news and I say, oh, him did innocent. It's an innocent youth. Him never do nothing to nobody, him never hurt nobody yet, him ray. Ask the and cow fat him innocent. Him always innocent, even when them lock up the Dan the other day, even when them try to extradite the Dan the other day. The people them come out and them protest and say the Dan is innocent. Me watch pan one big American news or documentary where they matter about the Dan and I talk about how much people the Dan analyze pan big documentary and the people them in the community come out and a protest and I say the Dan never hurt nobody yet. The people them know about what go on. Them know about it. Right? So as me say again, talking about the rights of the child. Right? So it's although a child, it says under the law, a child is anyone under the age of 18. Although this law gives a lot of responsibility to adults, it is really all about the child, right? And it says this law talks about the basic things children need in order to enjoy a good standard of living. It tells your parents how to care for you by making sure you have food, clothes, a home, health care, and education. Most of them not go to school. Most of them parents not even sending them to school. Go around and do research and check the penny them and see how much of them go to school. How often them a go to school. Sometimes endorsing the done is a matter of survival. Right. Endorsing the done is a matter of survival, But at the end of the day, if you go back in time and talk about back in our history, when we can talk about Marcus Garvey and Paul Bogle and all of that, at the end of the day, sometimes you have to stand up for what's right. You understand? Sometimes you have to stand up for what's right. You can't sell yourself short as you say for survival. What kind of life you want to live? Eh? What kind of life you want to live? Survival, and then when you survive, you pin them a suffer. That is what you want to do as a parent. You go endorse the done, and then when you get bigger, you pin them a suffer. The other day, a 3 man them kill on a road the other day. 3 man them kill. 3. I'm gonna say analyze because me dey on TikTok and me have to keep it clean. 3 because of reprisal. Eh? Because of some done business and done things where them are going with, right? And them analyze 3. Them get 3 from one lane and then go back and kill, go analyze 3 from the next lane because of a done ship. So what kind of life? What kind of life that you don't want to live? You rather stand up for the injustice and then make a pity them suffer feet? This law, so the protection law, this law talks about the things that children need to be protected from, such as abuse and neglect, or drugs and alcohol. Your parents, teachers, and other adults must protect you. There are also specific places like the Children's Registry, the Office of the Children's Advocate, and the Child Development Agency that you can call if you need help. Not endorsing may expose your family to immediate risk. Me hear what you say, Dilly. I understand what you say. Not endorsing may expose your family to immediate risk. I understand what you say. Me hear what you say, I understand what you say. But me still think it's a mentality as well. Fear. Them instill fear in uno, and it's still a mentality as well. You understand? You can't make them win over uno because of the fear. You have a fear that if you leave the community or if you leave or you endorse it, them are gonna hurt you. So you stand up and support them just so that them not hurt you, right? An act is a law. Everyone has to do what a law says. If anyone breaks a law, they can be arrested or ordered to pay a fine. Parents and adults can get counseling to help them change the way they treat children so that they don't break the law. All right, so the protection rights. So hold on, let me see this one. The Child Care and Protection Act covers 3 groups of children's rights. Rights that protect children from all types of violence, abuse, neglect, and exploitation. Rights that guarantee the basic things that children need for their survival, growth, and development. Right that ensures children's views are considered when making decisions that affect them and that opportunities are provided for them to share their views. So what are children being protected from? Children are protected from all types of violence, for example, gang violence and fighting in the home or community. So here what it says, children are protected from gang violence and fighting in the homes or community. So the right is also in place to protect them from gang violence. You understand? It says physical abuse, for example, hitting, kicking, and punching, or any type of beating. Emotional abuse, for example, cursing, insulting, or doing things to children that make them feel bad about themselves. Sexual abuse, for example, when an adult, including family members, molests a child or has sex with a child. Neglect, for example, when a child is abandoned, left alone, or whose basic needs are not being met. Trafficking, for example, when adults move children from one place to another to work in bars, go-go clubs, and as helpers. Child labor. Children under 13 years should not work for a living, even up to age 15. Children should not work at night or during school time. Children should not be sent to beg on the streets. I will see enough of them on the streets I beg. Enough of them. All the other day, I have to get a little boy $100 the other day. In did I sell? When did I sell? Wipes? Must $100 wipes. And the other one did I sell $100 chocolate. And I think it was the last one him did have. I mean, end up buy it. Come here and say to him, say, alright, no, my buy it, you can go on home now. Javon, hi. I said to him, say, my buy it now, you can go on home. So it's like me and say, my buy it so that him can, pack up and go home. Even though I never want to endorse the selling. You understand? The other day I saw another one. The other day I saw another one selling, but he was selling with his father. So at least he was there with his father. Supervision, right? So him father did it with him and him a watch him and thing and him a talk to the people, them and I say, say this have to help me to go back to school and ray and the father say, yeah man, him bright, him want to learn and thing, but me not have the money to send him to school. So that's why we're out here hustling. You understand me? And me help him. Well, me buy from him, right? So you have different ways that you can do it. Right? Alright, so also exposure to things that cause addiction, for example, drugs, cigarettes, rum, beer, or any other strong drink. So the provision right. So parents have a duty to make sure that children have all they need for their survival, growth, and development. This duty applies to all parents and guardians, including foster parents and step parents. What should parents provide for their children? Food, clothing, health care, a home. No child should be living or begging on the streets. And education. All children between ages of 4 and 16 must attend school. And enough of them not go to school. Wally. Even right now, it's sad because me hear them talk and say every child can learn, every child must learn. But if them not have the money for go to school and if them not have the money for pay the auxiliary fees, them you got hear say them can't go. The other day me hear say Pitney can't go to school because them ear no groom. So even though them tell us say rights, children have the rights to education, children have the rights to this, children have the rights to that, and then when them go to school, they hear say, oh, because them ear no groom, them can't come, them a turn them away from class. Oh, because the uniform shirt or them have on under the right shirt, them can't come to class. You understand? So at the end of the day, you have to know what your right is so that you can know what to do. Because first of all, if you tell me say my child have a right to the education, every child must learn, and me send my penny come to school and at the one shirt me have and me send him the shirt and you gotta turn him away from class because the shirt ain't have on the right, me I go up a ministry and me I go make them know say listen to me. Every child can learn, every child must learn, and I want sure me have and me send my child go to school and the teacher turn him back up a ministry me I go. You understand me I say? Because as me say it is written in the law book say he must go to school. He must have an education. You understand me I say to you? So we have to know our rights. Just like how the pitney go to school the other day and them tell him say, I don't remember if it was a boy or a girl. Say them here no groom and them not accept them. Them send him go on different school. You understand? They took him or her in the next school. Right? But as me say, you have to know your rights. So the participation right now. So children should be given a chance to participate and say how they feel about decisions that affect them. So as I said to you, If it wasn't for this law, I may not have been here today, right? Because I had to go in front of a judge as well. And when I went in front of the judge asked me after my parents them sign all the documents where them must sign and decide what they want decide, the judge had to call me to ask me what is my opinion on the matter. And based on my opinion on the matter, they made a decision. Because if me never give my opinion on the matter, they could not have gone forward. Because at the end of the day, as it say, I do have a right in terms of, as it say, participation right. Children should be given a chance to participate and say how they feel about decisions that affect them. Any child can participate in making a decision once they have a point of view and can say how they feel. To participate fully, children should have all the information they need to make a decision, and adults should make sure that children can understand the things that will affect them. It is a right, as me say, the children have a right. And most of the times we make decisions for kids and we don't give them a say in regards to the decision that is made. But according to the Child Care Protection Act, they have a right. And it says, um, it says we should make sure that the child can understand the things that will affect them. So once they have a point of view and can say how they feel, they should. Right? So as me say, we need to know, and the children need to know as well. Because based on what me I see right now, some of the parents them need even know. I read an article earlier today and it was so hard to read the article talking about a father doing something to a 5-year-old. In the article is a newspaper article 1994 in the Sunday Observer, Sunday Gleaner 1994. It was written in the article that a father was doing something to his 5-year-old daughter, and the mother of the 5-year-old sat and watched and laughed and said it was funny and they looked cute together. Can you believe that? See if we can find it. Can you believe say in a Jamaica, a father doing something to his 5-year-old daughter in a Jamaica, and the mother sit down and laugh and say, "Oh, y'all look so cute together." Eh? It was so hard to even read the article. But as I said, this is happening even today on TikTok. Because even on TikTok, I hear them talk about it and I talk about stuff. Hi Maya. I hear them talk about this incident happening on TikTok as well. So it coming like it's a norm. It might seem like a something where everybody's supposed to know, but it seems as if a lot of people don't know. So that's why I'm trying to figure out what we need to do differently so that people know what is expected of them as a parent. Understand? I'm trying to find the article because when we look on it, see here from the Sunday Gleaner, May 26, 1996. Is that article? This is a snippet from an article. It's a snippet from an article talking about the little girl named Rima Dunbar. Hi, good night. The little girl named Rima, her father began genital manipulation and oral genital relations with her when she was 5 years old and continued the activities on a regular basis for over 2 years. She thinks she must have known that something was wrong with the relationship because she was afraid that her mother would find out about it. The father, who was alcoholic and immoral to the point of bringing prostitutes home with him from time to time, once insisted that she go to bed with him while her mother was in the same room. When asked to get under the covers with him, her mother laughed and thought it was very cute to see them in bed together. While the mother stood by greatly amused, her father began to fondle Rima, but she became so disturbed by the situation that she ran from the room in tears Her mother did not realize that incest was occurring. However, an older sister who had also had an incestuous affair with her father recognized signs of incest and ordered the father to stop it, threatening him with disclosure to the authorities. Can you believe that? The father I do things to the 5-year-old little girl for 2 years, and the mother was present in the room when him do it and thought it was cute. And the sister have to come in and say, listen to me, this no right. Me I go call the police pan you. Hmm? When me read it, me I say then them people have sense. You are tell me say you never know say it wrong to do things to your 5-year-old daughter. And then the mother sit down and watch, or the mother and father sit down and watch Una do the things them to the little girl. Hmm? As me tell you, a lot of people really don't know. And I'm trying to figure out why is it that they don't know. And them say ignorance to the law is not a excuse, Not knowing the law is not an excuse. When police stop you and lock you up, you can't tell him say you never did know the law. Your job and your right for know the law. So that means say something like this no. Which part you have to go teach something like this? We tell a man say, listen to me no. You're not supposed to touch your daughter a certain way. Eh? And you have to go teach your 5-year-old now to tell her say, listen no, your father not supposed to touch a certain way. Eh? This is a 5-year-old, and as Michelle say, when I was reading the next article, because there's another article in there, they're saying that I think it was 70% of the abuse cases that they have is with 7 to 9 year olds. 7 to 9 year olds. And most of the persons are their known relative, close relative. Hmm? So when you hear them talk and talk about the little 9-year-old girl with them find in a barrel the other day, and you hear about the 11-year-old where them have problem with at school. I know nothing new. Or something that happened a long time because the parents themselves no know better. Sorry, the parents some of them pin are born in some homes with some parents. You have to wonder. Remember, you know what this bring me back to? When Matilda, I think it was Matilda with the little girl. The little girl would have powers. We don't say a movie and thing. But even back to that show there when she born in a day. Even Matilda, even we can't even talk about Harry Potter for who watch Harry Potter. Just the fact that them born in some household where the parents them not take care of them. She did and she want something to eat and she have to go make something to eat at very small age. What the parents them a do? Bandula things. So some of them pitney are born in some households. So as I said to you, we need to put something in place. We need to have some infrastructure in place for prevent these things from happening from early on. And we need to have some infrastructure in place as well for these kids who born into these homes. Because if the writer say the child have a right to this and the child have a right to that, at the end of the day, the mother and father is still their legal guardian, unless shown that they're unfit. And how are we gonna know that they're unfit unless somebody sees something and talk? Like in other situation where the sister come and talk and say it wrong. Somebody else have to see. But what if there was no sister? How long would that be happening for the with the 5-year-old if she never have no sister? The mother and father did it so a skin teeth and a kick. Eh? So another one is power principle. So this section talks about some of the important principles on which the Child Care and Protection Act is based. These are called power principles because they give us the power to understand the rules and how to apply them correctly. These are the best interests of the child, importance of the family, and non-discrimination. So, all right, hold on. So this one is the best interest of the child. The best interest of a child is the most important principle. When parents, teachers, and other adults and government make decisions that affect children, they should always find out what is in their best interest and follow it. So it's supposed to be what's in the best interest of the child, right? Importance of the family. What is the Child Care and Protection Act? What the Child Care and Protection Act says about children and their families. The family is the best place for raising a child. Lie tell, not always. Community now raise pitney again, I wish. But that is the thing. Me grew up hearing that it takes a community, it takes a village to raise a child. That me grew up on here. But as I tell you, say, what is the community doing? The community now raise a pitney again. The community itself break down. The same thing I was asking earlier, whose responsibility is it to uphold the morals and the values of society? Is it the teacher's responsibility? Is it the police responsibility? Is it the parents' responsibility? Is it the church? Whose responsibility is it to uphold the morals and the values? It is everybody's responsibility. And if you look at it right now, the morals and the values break down too much of them, because right now if you go on social media right now, them are highlight and I encourage slackness, and that's the way the people them are come see. The other day I come on TikTok, and when the trend that go around the other day, I forget what the trend name. I know when I go home trend, whatever the trend that go on what they would, and the girl they did it with the something in her mouth. Pan TikTok. You own a TikTok and you see her there with the something them in her mouth. And she a talk and I say from she a 12-year-old she a take man. She come pan live and talk and say from she a 12 she a take man. And she was talking so pro, like she feel good, like she a say, but a long time me I do this, so me know when me I do me a pro now, and she a laugh and she a skin her teeth. Poor Pete didn't realize that she has been abused. 12-year-old? Where your parents them there? A 12-year-old we had what it man. And as I tell you, at the end of the day, are the parents them are gonna look for, and are the parents them are gonna be held responsible. Because even again, according to the law, the children won't be prosecuted. That's why some of them keep them until them are adult and then them try them as an adult. So it said the family is the best place for raising a child. Where families are having problems, they should be given the help they need to provide a better life for their children. Lucifer, Morning Star. Both parents are responsible for their children even if they do not live together. Other family members that live with a child, foster parents, step parents, grandparents, and others are also responsible for protecting and providing for the child. Parents have the biggest duty to protect children. Parents also have the biggest duty to protect their children with the basic things they need. Parents must not abuse or harm children. Parents must keep children safe from harmful accidents in the home, such as drowning, getting burned, or drinking poison. This was something that was happening a lot. This was happening a lot. Because me hear about them incidents a lot where people are drink poison because you put the bleach in the bottle with the soda bottle and the Pepsi bottle, right? Say a bleach pan it, and the pitney see think as hungry and think of soda and drink it. It happen a lot, right? So those are like a basic stuff that we should not be doing, which is putting chemicals in drinks bottles and not adding labels on it, or even reusing the container, because you put toilet bowl cleaner in the bottle and then after you use out the toilet bowl cleaner, you wash out the bottle and you start go put water in it to feed the animal them. You're not supposed to do it. A lot of people don't know that. It sounds simple and it sounds basic, but a lot of people still don't know that. Common sense is not as common as we think it is. It says children should only be separated from their families when there is no other alternative. Parents must keep children safe from harmful accidents in the home, such as drowning, getting burnt, or drinking poison. Alright. As me tell you, say if I never for the law here, me probably wouldn't be here. Right? Because a lot of my rights were being violated and somebody had to step in to ensure that, my rights were being upheld. Alright, so children should enjoy their rights without discrimination. Discrimination happens when some children are treated differently from others because of their race or the color of their skin, their gender. Boys treated better or worse than girls. Their social class or how much money their parents have. The political party that their parents support, where they live, physical or mental disability. So it's talking about discrimination as it says, and you should not be discriminated. Children in conflict with the law. So I think this is the final one, and this is the one that a lot of people don't know about. So children who are arrested or charged with committing a crime are protected by the law, which is sad to say, but they are. Right? So the law protects the children. Thanks for the taps, Tranquil. They have rights and should not be ill treated. Here are some of the things that the Child Care and Protection Act says about children in conflict with the law. When a child is in police custody, the child's parents and the Child Development Agency must be contacted immediately, and every effort must be made to ensure that there are no delays in removing the child from that environment. I'm going to read it over again. When a child is in police custody, the child's parents and the Child Development Agency must be contacted immediately, and every effort must be made to ensure that there are no delays in removing the child from that environment. You what it say? When a child is in custody, police custody, the child's parents and the Child Development Agency must be contacted immediately, and every effort must be made to ensure that there are no delays in removing the child from the environment. As me say, you need to know the law and you need to know the rights, because it happened the other day to one little girl. Them have her in a lockup the other day, and her parents them never know so she in a lockup. She in there for how long? Our parents them never know, and them in there abuse her in the lockup. As me say, you have to know your rights. As much as when you like the police, we still have to know our rights because them are gonna use it against we. So we have to know it so we can use it in our favor as well. Yeah, you have to know your rights, and even the simple thing as the right to. I think when you get locked up, you have a right to a phone call as well. You're supposed to get a phone call. A lot of them don't even know that. For them, they don't even get them call. You lock up and nobody don't even know. So you lock up and you're in there all long. A lot of them don't know. As I tell you, say that is how they got in trouble the other day for the girl. They locked up a little girl. I don't remember this. I don't remember the full story because there's so many stories. But it was a Rasta girl. I think them lock her up. I think it was a public thing. It was a big thing. Them did lock her up and trim her. I think they did lock her up and then them trim her. And after them trim her or something, them call her mother and tell her mother say them lock her up. Wanna do you remember that incident there? On good little while back. Me I try remember so much of them I try my best to not put them something on my head because there were so many. But I think that's what happened with the Rasta girl. Was a Rasta woman and them trim her, and then when she done she feels shame because her locks is our crown and rare and she had grow her hair for so long, and not just fashion is our culture, blah blah blah, yada. So them violate her and them violate her. It was a big thing. I think they did end up all go court and something about it. I think she did win too. Pretty Pink, thank you for the taps. Hey, what's going on? Say it was a big thing, but as me say, I want to have to know the rights. But it was something like that where them lock her up and them trim her as a way of embarrassing her. That's what they were doing for sure. Say, yeah, man, we have the power, we have it now. So Me can cut off your ear, way. But as at the end of the day, they win the case still because, as it say, they're supposed to reach out to their parents, no delays, right? And the fact that they have time for Chimar and I tell our mother, evidence, right? So if a child is arrested, the police should contact the child development agency, which will send a social worker to visit the child. Children should not be kept in jail. They should be sent to special remand centers and correctional centers that are just for children. They should not be put into the same jail or prison as adult criminals. If a child needs legal help, the children's advocate can help him or her to get a lawyer. Even while they are in court, children must be kept separately from adults who are being tried. Right. All right. So when a child goes to court, it is a private matter. Only special persons like attorneys and journalists can attend, and they cannot use the child's name outside of the court. Parents or guardians should also go to court with their children. This is why a lot of times when children are being charged or when there are cases against them, we don't really know about it in the public because the law protect them. So there are a lot of teenagers right now who have committed crimes and we don't know about it and we're not gonna know about it. And unless we need to know about it. Right? And the other day me hear about a situation where somebody with me know in another situation there as well, where they got locked up as well and tried and everything. But because they were a child at the time, it was not made public. So if I Google it, when I try to Google it and look online and stuff, I don't find the information about it. Because as I say, according to the law, they are protected. And if it is posted on social media, it's gonna be a breach. Right? Because even the situation I think with the 11-year-old, when it came out the other day with the 11-year-old, I don't hear back anything more about it. Being informed is key. When the situation came out with the 11-year-old from the school, and the parent came out and saying that they were not doing anything, she went to the Ministry of Education and nothing was being done. I think maybe they went about it the wrong way because she said she go to the Ministry of Education. I don't see how or why they go to the Ministry of Education. Well, no, let me not say that. Sorry, let me correct myself. We'll and come again. The Ministry of Education does have a department that handles situation like this, which I can understand. So she said she went there and they were not doing anything about it, which is why she came out in the public, posted it on social media to say what happened to her daughter with the 11-year-old. But again, as I said, the law protects them. So she herself posting it on social media violated the child's right. So them can charge her for that. So even though she try to get justice for her daughter, she herself caused an offense by posting the child's information on social media. Right? So as I say, you have to know your right because when them lock you up, you can't go tell the people them say you never did know. You have to know, right? Right. So as I said, even if a child is found guilty, the court can do different things to help, like ensuring that the child gets counseling. When a child goes to court, it is a private matter. Only special persons like attorney and journalists can attend, and they cannot use the child's name outside of the court. Parents or guardians should also go to court with their children. So your sister, their rights is a little bit different from the adults because when the adult them try they all over social media, everybody know about it, everybody know your business. Right now we sit down and watch a Diddy case. Sit down in my bedroom, I watch a Diddy case. Diddy not have the right there. But if a child was involved, then yes, it will not have that same privilege, right? So we have to know the rights. Courts are court just for us. And these are something they might give out. These are pamphlets that they give out to the children. I actually took this from a child. Well, I never take it from them, but is that this belongs to a child that was in one of the facilities. So this is something that they give them when they're in the institution. So they teach them about their rights when they're in the institution. So them themselves know their rights. And it said the Child Care and Protection Act sets up a special court called the Children's Court. This court rules on cases that involves any person under 18 years. There are two main types of cases. Children who come to court because they have been charged with a crime. Children who come to court because they are in need of care and protection. In every case, this court will act in the best interest of the child. Here are some more facts about the Children's Court. It helps to separate children's cases from adults' trial by keeping the Children's Court on a different day or time from other activities in the parish courthouse. It keeps children's cases private. It has to look at different ways of helping children, not just sending them to a children's home or a children's correctional center. How does the Child Care and Protection Act protect children in residential child care facilities? Under the Child Care and Protection Act, children living in residential child care facilities or with foster parents have special. So, under the Child Care and Protection Act, children living in residential child care facilities or with foster parents have special rights. Foster parents and persons working in residential child care facility have the same duties as natural parents. They have to show children love, take care of their needs, and protect them from harm. Checklist for children in residential child care facility or foster care. All children should get the same care. No child should be treated better or worse than others. Children should be given a chance to express their views about major decisions that affect them. Children should be given some privacy and be allowed to keep their private belongings. None of them don't have that. None of them don't have any privacy. None of them don't have even private belongings because most of them still share things. Because when I went to the last children home, they were sharing stuff. Personal stuff was being shared. So they didn't even have their own private belongings. Children should be able to see a doctor, dentist, or psychologist as the need arises. Children should be allowed to play and get involved in social activities. Children should get religious guidance and be able to practice their religion. Children should be disciplined without the use of physical punishment. Should be able to talk with family members or a lawyer in private. Children should be taught about their rights and how they can be enforced. Children should know all about the children's advocate and should be allowed to talk to the advocate if they feel that their rights are not being respected. What do you do for work? Not this. Not this daily. Me tell you if you come in at the box when me get 100 kind of, come in at the box. So me don't know what you ask what me do for work now. Me I get the kind of you don't want it. Me can't give miles, Me can't give miles. Make miles use it and send me back. Alright guys, so whose job is it? So let's talk about whose job is it. So whose job is it to make sure children's rights under the Child Care and Protection Act are put into practice? Delia smile. A smile, a smile. Alright. Parents. Parents have the main duty to take care of children's needs and make sure that they are protected from harm. They must make sure their children have food, clothes, a place to live, and education, health care. They must make sure that no one is abusing their child or children. Ricardo Smith, thank you for joining. So that's a parent's job, right? The Child Development Agency job is to it's an office within the government that looks out for all children who are in need of care and protection. The Child Development Agency has children's officers in every parish who go into schools and communities to make sure that children are safe. Call them at and it gives a number. So I can tell you the number if you don't want to hear the number. If you don't feel like your rights being violated, or if you don't know somebody where child now get the proper care what they need, there is a number. The number is 948-6678, and I think that is supposed to be 876, right? So I'm gonna call them and have the discussion with them. The children's advocate. The children's advocate makes sure that the government is doing its duty to protect children and is listening to their views. The advocate can also get a lawyer to help children whose rights are affected by anyone working for the government, such as teachers, policemen, and doctors or nurses. Call them at. So the children's advocate make sure that the government is doing its duty to protect children and is listening to their views, right? So the advocate is the one now that represents the child when their right is being violated by teachers. When you send them to school and the teacher now make sure so their rights are being upheld, the policeman and the doctor and the nurses, that is when you call the children's advocate, right? And them have them number here, 948 1293 948 3278 948 3771 9675890. Them have enough number cards. Look like them have a whole heap of case up there, right? The police, when adults fail to obey the Child Care and Protection Act, they can be arrested and charged by the police. The police can also help to rescue children who are being harmed in their homes and communities. Call them at 119 or 926-7318. Persons working with children. Persons working with children, teachers, guidance counselors, doctors, nurses, dentists, daycare center workers should make sure that children are being protected from harm. The community also have a responsibility. The community's responsibility, which is any adult such as a neighbor or a pastor, etc., can protect a child by making a report if they think that the child is being harmed or needs care and protection. You might say the community, which is any adult, can protect a child by making a report if they think that the child is being harmed or needs care and protection. Lloyd Gray, thanks for joining. So even the community have a responsibility. So when you see the pitney them on the road and a school time and them not gone to school, or when they on the road and you see the pitney them a bus stop or stoplight and a sell bag juice, you can take up your phone and you can call the number. Any one of them where you want to call and you make them know. Say, listen, I see one little boy at the bus stop. Him no look like him past 13. He must sell bag juice and a school time now. The other day, me a pass, I think a 3 miles out there, so. A 3 miles right at Spanish Town, Marcus Garvey right there, so. And I saw some kids out there. It was school time and I saw some kids out there cleaning windscreen. And by the time me pass and go up to go off a tree and come back down, me not see them again. Me not see them again. And me do a look out to see if me see them again because me I say at school time them not supposed to be on the road but them a clean windscreen. But when me pass and go up and pass and come back down, I don't see them again. So that's the end. Let me see if there is any more. So that's the end of our lesson for today, guys. There's a thank you note here. So the Child Development Agency would like to thank the children, parents, and teachers of the following schools and youth organizations for their involvement in the testing and development of this guide. So they actually tested this guide in schools and they distributed a copy, as I said, to the students. And the schools that they went to are Black River High, Bogue Hill All Age, Cornwall College, Dintil Technical, Drapes All Age, Fellowship Junior High, Guys Hill High, Herbert Morrison, Horizon Park Primary, Jamaica College, Mona High, Mount Alvernia High, Mount Mollard Primary, Mount Salem Primary, Nain Primary and Junior High, Ocherius High, Port Antonia High, Rosemount Primary, Runaway Bay All Age, Sligoville All Age, St. Elizabeth Technical High, Steertown Primary and Junior High, and Titchfield High. So these were the places that they went to. And some of the organizations that they have is the Salvation Army, Hope for Children Development Company Limited, Girls Guide Association, Scouts Association of Jamaica, Children's First, Youth Opportunities Unlimited, and two of the facilities that they have as well is Musgrave Child Care Facility and Sunbeam Children's Home. So those are some of the facilities that they have. But that's gonna be the end of the lesson. Well, from the book here. Let me see if not another other book. So that's the lesson for today, guys. I hope y'all learned something new, even one thing on learn new today.